Now, when you want to learn to do something well, you have to pay attention to the follow-through. Now, all of us want to live a good life, but an important part of that is the ending. Our next guest asks us to think about how we want the end of our life to be. The decisions we make or don't make can affect all the people we love. Our next guest has seen so many variations on this theme and has some important wisdom to share. Please welcome Gaby Eirew.
I loved our wedding. Dancing through the streets. Snowy, intimate, Jewish, funny, klezmer, Dixieland.
Thank you.
4 months later, my very loved mother-in-law died. She was such a wonderful physician that when people came to her depressed, withdrawn, sinking, she would tell them about a book she'd read that was really good. And she would write on her official prescription pad a gallery they might like to try and visit. When there was nothing more to be done, I learned she did something more. 3 children come, ours. They are mud-swashing, fact-guzzling pajamas full of love and honesty, and we could not feel more satiated. We moved to Canada, and everybody's lovely, and we know no one. But everyone really is lovely. And a little while later, my dad, my very loved dad, dies. I'm in a car accident, and my hearing starts going. I go to phone Emma, my friend from school, just to connect, but neither number reaches her. I Google her for a house move, a job change, and read instead the recent coroner's report into her death, and the walls start melting. There is a Jewish expression, may her memory be for a blessing, and I cannot help but wonder what Emma's children, the same age as our children, will know of her. Will they know her uncensored laugh, her smile, her sportsmanship, her singing? I go anywhere that people will let me, and I ask, excuse me, have you written a will? Excuse me, do you have any idea when you're going to die? I stop before I get arrested. But a few days later, armed with a clipboard from the dollar store, now this is bona fide research, I go and I find people who were under 16 when their parent died. And with one child nursing on my breast while the other 2 are at preschool, I go and find people. I ask them many, many questions, but only 2 I really care about. What has your life been like since? And what do you wish you knew from or about your dead parent? Their tears fall, and they merge with mine, but the lake of our tears is getting more beautiful now. 3,200 questions, 100 people, 5 years later, I have the results. But what can I do? People say, I want to hear that prayer in Hindi. I want to know the recipe, yes, that one. I want to know the floor cleaner that he used so I can smell in my home like his. I cannot do that. I cannot give them that. Make an app, says my friend Jez. Great, I say. What's an app? I appeal on Craigslist for a Codex app writer, and Michael King, perhaps he's here tonight, contacts me. He's from the island. His mum died recently. He totally gets it, and of course he can code for me. We spend 4 months talking, and I send him money and reams of research, and I meet him when? Never. And I have to phone the police. Go on, says Peter, who's my husband in here tonight. Go on, you've got this far. What? I put my hand back in my pocket, and I put my hand in Peter's too. We've been married now for 12 years, and I've only earned for 6 of them. More kindness comes in the form of programmers. Felix, a friend from university who's now at Microsoft, and Ben, who's here. And I meet the kindest board of strangers that become my board. If I had known how kind people would be after being scammed, I would have got scammed so much earlier. And now we have this terrific app. It prompts you with all the questions we found out from the research, and it video records your answer straight away. And we're really happy, Peter and I, when 6 people have done it. I put up a helpline. I put it in a coffee shop, and I put it in hospices and in hospitals, and people phone it to help them use the app if they need support. But more trouble comes. Hello? Oh, sorry. Hello? You like the app? Lovely, thank you. You have a question. How do I tell my children I'm dying? How do I get buried in a forest? Should I take cannabis? What's a macrobiotic diet, and will it help me? The questions are heavy and heady, and I'm small, but I know I can get big. Again, I go anywhere people will let me. I volunteer on funeral conferences. I go to the Bucket List Festival and talk. I become a play person on the Children's Grief Group. I become a member of the board of Vancouver Hospice Society as director. I do anything I can to learn while I am supporting people. And now, Dr. Pippa Hawley from the Bucket List Festival and I have brought out a book, Lap of Honour, because I realized that when you walk out of a doctor's and you're told that your time is limited, you need real support. When you have sore lips, to know how to soothe them. If you have bad memories, you know how to deal with them. If you want to have a celebration of life, how to do it. And the app, RecordMeNow, well, it's gone from 6 to maybe 130,000 users in 43 countries. And we don't know all of them. Thank you. People in Texas jails have decided to use it because often the jails won't allow children to come. And they record nursery rhymes. People who gave up their children for adoption use it to fill in the blanks in case the person doesn't visit them in time. One man with ALS phoned me and said he was going to make a, shall we say, steamy video while he still could. And Lap of Honour is just coming out. It is the very conversation that we wish a doctor could have time for, a doctor and a counsellor to give you all the support you need. Really, this is my love letter and thank you to Peter, because this year we're celebrating 20 years. And quietly, throughout all of this, Emma and Phil's children, and Peter and my children, have been growing wise, warm, wonderful, brave, and funny. Thank you.